Can you guys see that? The beautiful row of corn and some weeds that decided to grow. So this is some interesting compacted stuff. I am missing seeds in here that did not germinate, and that is what I'm looking for, because these were all scattered. They were spaced out. You can see the spacing really of where they were. You see there's one there that's growing, just starting. The soil conditions are pretty warm, which would be good for germination, but we got some weeds that are deciding to hang on and grow. Sweet peas are doing pretty good. Not bad. These are seen better days. This one's absolutely fantastic. But what we're dealing with is just these lovely weeds and making a dam over here so the water just passes through whenever it wants. Is I had to come over here with just a side thing and kill the weeds, just dig up the weeds around, but not the roots, and seeing how well it does. Now, like I said, there was about 5 seeds in here because I didn't space them out that good, but these are about an inch spacing roughly, and they're pretty close together. That's fine, but you can see there's one in the end that didn't quite grow. But this is just about a week and a half in of germination and growing. You can see the layers it's already grown. That one actually has 2, and they're pretty good all across. So I am excited to see what this does. Aside from that, flip the camera over. I'm thinking of testing a few things because, well, my lovely phone thinks that it should be smart and just look up on websites. So you remember about the 4th video I was posting, on my channel when I started it. So thank you guys so much for subscribing for the last, 91 of you guys who did actually do that, because there's still 3/4 of you guys that have not subscribed. There's about 75% of you guys that watch my videos have not subscribed. 24 point something, 25% of you guys did. So thank you for the 25, but you still have 3/4 people that haven't subscribed in the last 28 days. So what I am looking at here, it's something I never thought I would be looking at. Replanting corn and soybeans into here, or at least sweet peas. Soybeans are hard to come by over here, and I don't really have anything I would be selling it to. Sweet peas, on the other hand, I use them a lot for cooking, along with sweet corn. Plus, a lot of people like them, so it would be easier to buy. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up a line of where I'm going to be putting them in here, having some drainage go out, not a whole lot. So this will be raised up a little bit, lots of soil, lots of money spending. Have it raised up a bit, plant the corn directly in. I'll have about 30-inch spacings, and then sweet peas somewhere around here, and I'll have more of a fencing. So the reason being I'm saying that is because the rabbits here like to go underneath the fence. I know it sounds weird, but they do. So if I have a lot of soil above it, or like a 2x4 going above it, maybe not, maybe a 2x6, 2x4 should work. And I have it going across here. That should be a good enough height. And just put the soil all around here, same thing over there, and make them even. And that's my project here. And just kind of making, flip it over again. So making it from there, going across, and then back over here. And I'll make a good design. And there is already a sprinkler system here to get the water, but I can always put one over here. And just all topping soil and good compost soil. And just put the corn and some sunflowers, some nice good flowers over here. Maybe some thyme, basil, and then the sweet peas as well. But that's what I'm looking at doing, along with the other projects of me figuring out what I want to do with this philodendron that got destroyed by Hurricane Ian. Hurricane Ian was definitely the worst storm of hurricane that I've ever went through down here in Florida, but you like it? There used to be a giant philodendron plant like sticking out here, and it's no longer there, and then you have like all that leaning over that way. a beautiful tree there that's leaning the wrong way. A lot of the plants have regrew. And then, of course, you have that one tree that isn't ours. That's okay. It looks like limes. But this is just grass that never really was mowed until for Christmas, before the frost came. And it's still dead. But what you don't know is this is why people, or farmers really, like the Malaya farmers say, the grass has been winterized. Because when it comes to be growing again, it's the right temperature, they can plant corn. And so, fun fact, the grass starts growing and it's green, it's good enough to plant. If the grass is still brown and it's not fully green, it's either too wet, too dry, or it's too cold. And so there you go. Or too hot. So you always have those even balances. So around springtime, if the soil temp is good enough, the grass will start turning green. If the soil temp is not good enough, it'll start dying. And if it's too good, but just a lot of heat and sun and rain, you may be okay. Have some difficulties with the mud. Trying to get it so the camera's not in the sun. How's that? Is that better? I like my hair. It's getting big. I'll mow it down again. So this is one of the difficulties. Florida has some very nice weather. But the one downside about this, doing stuff at home and what have you, is the grass. It's a rope grass. It's not a soft grass. So that's the problem I have over there. And over here. Because all these weeds have decided to grow here and make this look like a mess. So everything over here looks like a mess. That's all I can say. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's a beautiful plant that's growing. And it is a plant that's growing. You got plants here that are growing. Those aren't weeds. Those are little petite little plants. Those are weeds. Plants. Weeds. Plants. Trying to figure out if these are weeds. I think they are. They're just mini little weeds that are growing. Those, I think, are something. Those are something. It's hard to tell if it's a weed or if it's some kind of plant I planted in here. That's why I like sweet peas, because it's easier to identify. So, talking about the corn again, you have soil like this, conditions where it's just clay, and it's just muddy and grubby, and I mean, you dig down here, and it's like a clay, and there's a shell. And it's not so good, and you don't plant it right away. I mean, this is sand, by the way. I'm literally making finger marks in here. That's what a plow does. It tills it up and turns it over, and voila. They make little sandcastles, but wow. That's what we deal with. We don't really, that's soil. That's like a clay soil. And like what we have over here, that's just pure clay, like concrete. So I don't know how well these plants will be doing. But if you remember my video I did about in Connecticut when I went up there and visited some good, a few thousand acre farms, 100-acre farms, those corn had different varieties, which is kind of what I'm doing because I got corn over there that's growing and it's weak from the frost. But this one seems to be doing good. And you see it's already starting to crinkle up. These are kind of starting the same, but it's another subject. But as you saw, it was a clay soil. This, which I don't have the fence right now, so this is how I'm gonna have it. It doesn't seem like any peas are starting to. Ooh, looks like one may be growing there. Sprinkle this on. This is some nice, good soil that I don't know. Charcoal. So that's soil. That's soil that I'm evening out. These are just stuff I don't know. What is that? I don't know what that is. That was the You got like stuff here, even it out, you know, all good. Now you also have, oops. So you also have this that tries its best to keep strong. This one, it's weak. Those are pretty strong. These are 4 plants, by the way. It's always good to trim the leaves because they're no good when they're dead. So try picking off the dead leaves, and then you'll find yourself your plant is actually really growing. You're not really harming the plants. You're just getting rid of all the diseases that it caused. And you have these like green little bugs that get on the crop. And this one has the flower. Oh yeah, look at that. We're starting. Why won't this one start? This one's nice and tall and it won't start. That one's young and it's starting. That one's almost starting. Subscribe.